Hey there, Bruce, and welcome back to the Game of Fortune. Let's kick off from where we left off last time. We won the game. Everybody seems to be alive, except for possibly Richard's group, which is coming out now. Doesn't look very promising. He's on his own. We shall see, because his father was in that group, so I don't know. I'd imagine him to be pretty devastated if his father was dead now. Just Richard? Lilith, Laura, and Elizabeth are in that group? Oh, that's right, his father's in the next group. That's a somber look, even for Richard. You're right. Yeah, just a little sad. Victory shouldn't have to be so painful. Where's Elizabeth? They didn't make it. Sorry. What? But no, there's no way Elizabeth kicked the bucket that early. She's too smart for that. You must have cheated or something. I didn't cheat. Don't be ridiculous. It was just an unfortunate game. Me against them. And I came out on top. Damn it. Don't worry, kid. Everything will be alright. Don't call me kid. And I know that. You don't have to tell me. Despite saying that, William was skulking away from the group, covering his eyes with his arms. I would never have imagined him as the type to get emotional over someone other than himself. But I guess I don't know him. It looks like he's taking it badly. They must have been pretty close. He was their student. I don't doubt that he's shaken by her death. If only there was something I could have done. Other than die. Don't worry yourself too much over it. That kind of thing is inevitable here. I know. That doesn't mean I have to like it. True. I'm going to make sure that he's alright. Go ahead. A little comfort goes a long way. Alphonse gave us a quick nod before following after William. Richard gave a look around the room. Ah, that explains it. There were a lot of survivors from the first two games. I suppose Bell wanted to ensure some deaths occurred before the final game. Hard to know for sure if that's what the case was or if it was something else. Regardless, I'm happy to see that you've made it this far. Really? Richard slowly nodded his head. I don't know why, I just get a little happy knowing that you made it. No love for me, Richard? Oh, well, I'm glad you made it as well. It doesn't sound as sincere. I mean it though. Don't get disheartened, I'm just messing with you. You seem like a nice guy, so I'm happy to see that you're around as well. Thank you. By the way, has anything happened since we last met? Not really. We tried talking with Kishi and Zeph about how to survive this place, but they didn't give us any answers. That's to be expected. I imagine that most people here are tight-lipped about how things run around here. Do you know anything about how to survive here? I've been told it's kind of like a dream, so maybe you just have to wake up. That doesn't make any sense. I don't feel like I'm dreaming. I guess if this was a dream, I'd feel a lot better though. I think it's a little late to hope that we're dreaming at this point. Ow, why the heck did you slap me? I figured that might wake you up. Maybe if we're collectively dreaming, then you just fizzle away or something. But why'd you have to slap me? Well, it'd be rude to slap anyone else. You could have just slapped yourself. You two make for a funny duo. Just being around you makes my heart feel lighter. Hear that, Clyde? I should slap you more often. Makes people feel better. Abusing my face is not that funny. Only to you. Well, I wouldn't want Clyde's face to get damaged simply because I needed to pick me up. I'll go ahead and relax in the kitchenette. Have fun. If not, you know who to call. Don't volunteer us for this. Sorry, guess I got lost in the moment. I probably should have given you a warning before I hit you. Well, I appreciate the apology. Right, now it doesn't feel real, you know? I mean, a few minutes ago we were in a game that could have killed us. And now we're just joking around. Wish we could just imagine this is all one big joke. Then it'd be easier to deal with. She's coping with humour. That's how she's always been. I guess we've been lucky that we haven't had to deal with anything horrible. But we're still stuck here. We're still in danger. I guess a few jokes here and there are okay. Just promise not to slap me in the face as some kind of comedy routine. Don't worry, Clyde, I won't damage that precious little face of yours. She patted my cheek a few times to assure me that I'd be fine. And then it lingered there. Devon. Whoops, got lost in thought there for a moment. She brought her hand back down to her side and then looked over the couch. Let's just try and relax. After all, we don't know what'll come next. Yeah, we could be dead shortly. I want to at least be calm and ready when we have to play again. Is that okay? Yeah, that's fine. Let's just try and find a moment of peace in this madhouse. I'd like that. And so we tried to rest and relax until the final group finished. As the minutes passed, I was just silently watching the others talk and bicker amongst themselves. Devon leaned into me as though I was some kind of pillow. I didn't mind. It was comforting to have her so close. She was keeping me grounded, as I'm sure I was doing the same for her. Somehow we'd get through this. I began to get drowsy, my eyes fluttering open and shut as a weak fatigue washed over me. And before I knew it, I found a moment of peace to rest. Peace and of peace and rest to get lost in the quiet oblivion that was my dreams. Clyde, wake up. Huh? Richard's voice cut through the quiet of my mind and my eyes slowly blinked open. Had a good rest? It was alright. Philip? That's me, I can assure you that I'm not a ghost. Then you survived your game? Along with Everett and Maria. That Teresa, she sure is terrifying. The tricks she employs are downright cruel. But now that she's gone, I feel quite a bit better. We woke you up because we're all here and ready to go. I figured that much. The others are already gathered up by the next set of doors. I didn't want you to be asleep while they discussed the groups. Okay, we'll get up. Thank you for the wake-up call. No problem. Feels terrible to be left out. Especially here of all places. I slowly sat up, but what was stopped when I realized that Devon was lying her head down on my lap. Looks like she made herself quite comfortable. Ugh. Devon, wake up. No, 5 more minutes, Daddy. She wrapped her arms around my waist as if I were a pillow she were cuddling with. You have the worst timing, you know that? I jostled her hair a little to rouse her awake. Ugh. Finally awake? Damn it, I was hoping it was a dream. Ugh. Sorry to say, but we're still here. Philip? Yep, I managed to survive my game and we don't need to go through this spiel again, Dad. But it's fun. We've got to get up and join the others before they decide on the groups, Devon. Alright. She slowly got to her feet and stretched up toward the ceiling. Not a bad nap, honestly. I feel like I'm ready to handle just about anything. That's the spirit. Now let's catch up with the others before they delegate us to a group without our consent. Right. We'll be right there. We walked with Philip and Richard to join the others by the next set of game doors. Hey, the 2 sleeping beauties have finally woken up. Sleeping beauties? That's how you look, while we're being asleep in one another's arms. First of all, we were not asleep in one another's arms. Right, Devon was just resting her head on your lap. Usually most guys like it the other way around. What can I say? Clyde has a comfortable lap. Don't say that. Hopefully your sleep was restful. There's still a number of games left to go. I heard that your game with Teresa was tough. Yes, but we've resolved that issue. Teresa is gone, no longer a threat to anyone. I'm not sure that... He doesn't seem to care that she's gone. I guess they didn't have that strong of a relationship. Anyway, now that you're all here, let's get right to business. 3 doors, 12 people left. We can all do the math, right? So let's start with the group and pairing preferences. I'm going to be sticking together with Zeph, just like last round. Anyone else feel like sticking with their partner? Yes? Al and I are going to be pairing up. I went a whole game without him and it sucked. So we're going to be sticking together. Yep, that's for the best. Everyone here still has their partner. The only exception being... Yes, William and I are the only ones without our partners. Do you want to pair up, William? I'd rather not, but I don't think I'll have much of a choice. Everyone's going to stick with their own partner, so I might as well just accept it. That's probably for the best. If I were going to assume that everyone else is pairing up, we just need to know what doors people would prefer to go through. Right, I would start off by saying that Zeph and I would prefer the first door again. Al and I want to go through door 2. Then maybe William and I will take door 3. Are you okay with that? Sure, whatever. His attitude really hit a new low. Jade, would you be okay joining up with Everett and William? You want to join them? If it's not too much trouble. I'd rather not deal with Alphonse right now, and I'm sure that Zeph and Kishi would prefer to pair up with someone other than us. You make it sound as though we're a pain to deal with. Think of it more like a desire for variety. Fine. If that's what you want. You two okay with that? Hang on, I'm just going to adjust my volume here. I'm alright with that. Sure. I don't have a preference for either group. Agreed, I'm flexible. I can go with anyone and be comfortable. Are you feeling better, by the way? Yes, I told you that it was just a small cough. Honestly, you worry far too much for me. It's not good for your health. Maybe, but better to be safe than sorry. It's good to have someone so concerned for me. Don't abuse it. I wouldn't dare it. Well, Devon, seems we got a choice. Kishi and Zeph in door 1 or Alphonse and Maria in door 2. We could take Alphonse's advice and join up with Kishi and Zeph to see if maybe they'll give us some details on how they survived. Maybe they'll slip up and tell us how to survive. Definitely worth a shot. But Alphonse has also been investigating the digits of Eden, so maybe he knows a lot more than what he's letting on. I doubt he'd just come here without doing his own research, right? Right. No point worrying it over too much. Just pick a pair and hope for the best. Time for a save. Well, I'm going to pick Zeph and Kishi. Let's join up with Zeph and Kishi. Alright, if that's your plan, I'm right behind you. Hopefully we'll learn something. I really hope so. I turned to Kishi and raised my hand. Hey Devon, and I would like to join you and Zeph. We'd be happy to have you. You missed out last time, so I guess you're making up for lost time. Oh yeah, I can't wait to tell my friends that I got to meet you both while I was playing some weird death games. No one would believe you. He's right, no one in their right mind would think that's true. Never leave Philip and Richard to play with Alphonse and Maria. That sound good? I would have picked Philip and Richard if they hadn't already not picked a door. Yeah, no objections from me. I'm cool with it. We already said we'd be fine with whatever group we're put in. So naturally, we're okay with this as well. Yes, though I do hope that whatever game we play isn't a physical one. I'd feel out of my element there. Not much I can do to help you there. You can give your old man a hand. I don't think I'll go that far. What happened to that concern from before? Well, since everyone has their groups, we should get going. Good luck and good fortune to the rest of you. With a parting wave, Kishi and Zeph walked through the first game door. We followed right behind them, hoping that we'd find some hint as to how we could assure our survival. Same waiting room? I guess Belle doesn't feel like shaking things up. There's not really a need to. This place is just where Belle tells us what's coming up. Why bother changing things up? For variety. If you're looking for variety, then just wait for the game. That's where she tends to shake things up more often than not. This is the one case I'd prefer something similar to what we've had than something new. Not feeling up for variety this time around. We all turned to face the screen as Belle's face phased onto the television. Don't you want something that's new and exciting? No, I'd prefer something simple and easy. Boo, you're no fun. You'd just love something easy that you could stroll your way through, wouldn't you? I mean, yeah. That's not bad, is it? It is bad. It's terrible. You need to go through each of these games fearing for your life. If there's no excitement, there's no fun. But I don't like being afraid. I can confirm that. Being afraid sucks. I thought you people loved horror movies and roller coasters. I think that's a different kind of thrill. Maybe I should try and make my games more thrilling. I thought they were exciting enough, but maybe I'm missing something. You don't have to do that, really. No worries, Clyde, I'll fix something out that works for all of us. For now, let's just get right to the roulette. Cool. The screen flickered to show the shifting choices of games. The dreaded roulette. Last time Devon and I lucked out, we played a game where both of us were able to survive together. I needed that luck again. This was the first game, so anything was possible. But I needed Belle to give me a chance to stick with Devon. Ideally, all four of us could survive. Maybe I'd figure out the secret of this place. But first and foremost, I needed to survive with Devon. So please, please, give us what we need. 2 on 2, that'll work. Looks as though we'll be playing 2 versus 2 game. 2 teams battling it out for the right to live. Doesn't that sound exciting? Okay, this can work out. I just need to pair up with Devon and things can work out. Sure, it might mean that we lose our chance to learn from Zeph and Kishi. No, wait, if anything, this might be the best chance to learn how they plan to survive. Maybe there's a trick or a rule that can be exploited. And in that case... So, a team game. Can we pick who we're going with? Devon, I know that you've got a better memory than that. You don't get to pick the teams. They're randomized. Right, but listen to this cool new idea I came up with. What if they weren't? No. Anyway, fate is telling me that the teams will be... Come on, keep us together, keep us together, Of course they're not going to keep us together. Please. Devon and Kishi versus Clyde and Zeph, of course. My heart sank into the pit of my stomach and then bounced up with a horrid acidic splash. Fuck. Belle, please don't make us play against one another. Can't you make an exception this time around? Yeah, as much as I think Kishi's cool, I'd rather stick with Clyde. Don't be a bunch of babies, you don't get to decide what team you're on. We keep things fair and random around here. But, no buts, you want to complain about your team, then you just have to lay down and die. Because I'm not going to shift things around to make you feel better. You fucking piece of... Hey, I ain't happy about this either, but we don't have a choice. How can you go along with this? You're going to have to kill your girlfriend if we don't swap around. You think I don't know that? I told you, I don't want this either. But we don't have a choice. Either we play along or we die. And I'm not keen on dying. Clyde, I don't want you to die. Maybe we'll find some way through this. She tilted her head towards Zeph. You know? Fine. Maybe this is a blessing in disguise. If anything, now would be the time where Zeph and Kishi would pull out all the stops to save one another, right? They have to. Now that we've gone through that emotional bit, let me give you the name of the game you'll be playing. It's called Radical Relay. Sounds, radical. It'll be extremely radical. So radical, you'll have people worried if you've gone off the deep end. That's a different kind of radical. You're right, my radical is so much better than what's on TV these days. Why don't you enter it into the game room and see what it's about? See you soon. The screen cut off and the horrible silence of the room had me on edge. Well, let's get going. Scary as it might be, there's nothing we can do about it but press onwards. Scary? It's more than scary, it's terrifying. Even so, there's nothing you can do. If you want to die for Devon's sake, then be my guest. But you'll have to play. That's a fact. Kishi walked out of the room with Zeph right behind her. Guess it was a bad idea to stick together. Sorry. Don't apologize, there's no way we could have known it'd end up like this. I mean, it worked out last time. But don't worry, there might still be hope. If Zeph and Kishi know how to survive this place together, maybe now they'll show it off. They seem calm. Too calm. They must have some kind of idea that we can copy. You think so? I'm praying that's the case. Alright, then let's try and do what we can to survive together. Devon raised her fist into the air. We got this. I smiled back at her and bumped her fist. We'd find a way through this. Somehow. Huh? We're outside. Welcome to the great outdoors. Don't you just love the fresh air? Is this fresh air? Why wouldn't it be? I don't know, the fact that we're in some weird god realm makes me wonder what's real and what's just some construction you've made. We were in some sci-fi bunker not too long ago. That was then and this is now. This is the kind of environment for a radical relay, don't you think? Mind explaining exactly what makes it a radical relay? It's a relay that's radical. That doesn't help explain anything. Well then, allow me to give you a proper explanation. Ahem. Radical Relay is a fun game of running through a wild course and reaching the end before the opposing team. The rules are simple, you just have to get your team's baton across the finish line before the other team. Belle held out a blue and gold baton in both her hands. Since it's a relay, one team member will run the first half while another team member will run the second half. And that's really all there is in terms of rules. That's it? Can he use a skateboard? Because that feels like cheating. It's just a relay race, what more did you expect? Well, you said to be radical, so I figured you put some odd rules in there or something. I don't need to add rules to make a game interesting. I just need to add obstacles that have an interesting track. Let me guess, the track itself is going to be full of weird things that will impede our progress. Without a doubt, and the track will shift and evolve the further ahead you go. Be careful, there might be some deadly traps and tricks if you don't look carefully. You can't be serious, right? What if you end up dying because of your traps? I highly doubt that such a thing would happen. That said, I'd be gracious and ensure that at least one team is able to win the game. If that means dragging you back from the dead, I'll do so. Drag us back from the dead? Only as a last resort. Don't try to throw yourself at death, hoping that I'll pull you back. I'd prefer that my powers don't get abused. Any other questions? Yeah, are there going to be any signs to show us what the right direction is? You'll get proper direction, don't you worry. Whether you're able to stay on the trail, however, is another matter entirely. But you'll at least know the right direction. That's not reassuring. Don't worry, I promise you won't get terribly lost. Are we allowed to interfere with the other team? Sure, I won't stop you. Never said that this was a fair race. Just know that anything you can do, they can do back. So be mindful. Right. Any other questions? How long is the relay anyway? 1600 meters? 800 meters? That's way too short. We gotta make this thing last. That's still not giving me an exact number for distance. It's long enough, I can promise you that much. Okay, are you gonna take us to the halfway point for those of us that'll be running the second half of the relay? Of course, I'll escort you there myself. Well, that's everything I got. Seems that we're all set to go then. I'll need each team to decide who'll run each leg of the relay. When you're ready, come and let me know. Well, what do you want to do? Come on, I know the shit sucks. We have to decide on something. I can give you my all, but you'll need to put in effort too. Do I need to? Don't be fucking stupid. You're not doing Devon any favors by throwing your life away. That's for me to decide. I'm telling you, that it's pointless. What about Kishi? You okay with her dying? No, I'm not okay with it. I hate that we have to do this, but I gotta do it. That's just the way things are. What a defeatist attitude to have for something like this. Say what you will, I know more about this place than you think. But you won't share any of that information with me. I don't get it. Don't you want to save Kishi? Yes, that's all I want to do. You don't get it, and I won't expect you to. All I need for you to do is just not throw the baton away into a ditch whenever you get it. I can't make any promises. Just say, I'll run properly if you tell me what the fuck's going on. Then you'll have to. Fine, you want to throw the game away? I can't stop you. Just make up your mind as to whether you want to start the race or end it. I guess it doesn't matter too much. I can either sabotage the start or at the end. I'll run... Like, if we're going to sabotage, then we should do the second half. I'll run the second half. Sure, take the second half. He didn't seem to mind. Let's go and tell Belle that we've decided. You really care about Devon, don't you? I do. Well, let me make you a deal. If you actually try and win, I'll tell you how to save her. How? How would you do that? She'd be dead. You heard what Belle said, right? She'd revive us if somehow we died in the game. There are other moments when she's willingly able to revive the dead as well. You're not bullshitting me, are you? Why would I lie about it? So that we'll play properly? I'm using the same trick to ensure that Kishi stays alive. But I need to win to make it happen. And how do I know this will work for Devon and not just Kishi? How do I know you won't just keep your secrets after you win? You don't. Honestly, you're just going to have to put your faith in me. But let me put it to you this way. Kishi and I know how to survive this place. I could win, or she could win, and we'd still know how to ensure we lived. So it doesn't really matter too much if I die here or not. But you and Devon want some assurance, right? I can give you some peace of mind if you at least try to win. I'm sure that Kishi is saying the same thing to Devon right now. If you want to give it up and die, that's your choice. Anyway, let's just tell Belle what we've decided. Fine. I could seriously try to win here, couldn't I? Then I'd find out the secret to survival. But Devon would probably find out with Kishi. So I'm back in the same situation, aren't I? Do I put Devon in danger or not? I would have lived too, but... damn it. Damn, these games are stupid. I just want us both to live. Yo, Belle, we made up our mind. And what decision have you come to? I'm going to be the starting runner. Clyde's going to be the anchor. Understood. Now all we need is to hear from the other team. You won't have to wait long. Kishi and Devon approached Belle. I'll be starting runner for our team. Just couldn't get enough of me, huh? Want to see if you'd beat me in a race? I think I got enough speed and stamina to outlast you. I think we both know who the champion of endurance is between the two of us. See, that reaction just means she knows she's in trouble. Is now really the time to be making jokes? I'm always serious. So that means that Devon and I will be running the second leg of the race together. Guess we'll have some time together before the end. But that also means that it'll be more painful to actually commit to trying to win. Well, now that we've got our team set, let's get you all set up at the starting positions. Clyde, Devon, if you come with me, please. Right behind you. We followed behind Belle for a few steps. You two are awfully quiet. Usually you're much more chatty than this. What do you expect us to talk about? I don't know, your usual banter? You two could make for a great comedy duo if you put your minds to it. Sorry we can't really come up with a great comedic act for you, Belle. It just feels awkward we're going to be racing to kill one another. You know what I think the problem is? I'm third wheeling. You two need some genuine privacy if you want to get things off your chest and get out of your system. So let's speed things along. Belle snapped her fingers and we began to levitate in the air. Whoa, what are you doing? I don't like the way that this feels. Just doing some speed running. Or speed flying, I suppose. More like fucking glitching. We were suddenly soaring through the air at speeds that made the world around us blur. Streaks of green changed to blurs of yellow and white, and then suddenly it went all black. Our bodies came to a graceful halt inside what looked to be some kind of underground hallway. Here we are. Okay, I gotta admit, that was kind of fun. Speak for yourself, I felt as though my brain was put on a roller coaster. Roller coasters are fun. Sure, when you're in a harness that keeps you safe. See, all it took was a change of scenery and you two are back to normal. I don't think that a little banter counts as normal. Either way, sit tight. This is where half your race will begin. You'll run down the hallway. Don't try to sneak ahead or you'll be punished. Can you just put a barrier up or something? Yeah, but I like tempting you people. It's fun to see what antics you'll get into when I'm not looking. So you want us to break the rules? No, I want you to be tempted. That's all. You're making no sense. I don't have to. I'm the one running the show here. Anyway, I don't want you two to be bored, so I left you a neat little television that'll show you the current standing of the race if you're interested. Belle snapped her fingers and a flat screen television appeared in the ground. I gotta get back and get the race started. See you two later. Belle disappeared in a cloud of blue smoke, leaving the two of us alone once again. And things were back to being awkward. Thanks a lot, Belle. Looks like the race is gonna start soon. Devon pointed to the screen as it flared to life, showing Kishi and Zeph back at the forest starting line. Think you got an advantage? What do you mean? I mean, Zeph's probably fast and athletic, right? So you'll probably get some kind of head start against me. That's an advantage, isn't it? Yeah, but you never know. Maybe Kishi is some secret trackster. Maybe. She certainly looks fit. Exactly, maybe you'll get a lead against me. Even if I did, I don't think I'd end up running there first. You're probably in more shape than me. You did tennis for a while, right? I was never really into sports. What's with that look? Nothing. Guess I just didn't expect you to bring that up. I don't talk much about my high school tennis days. You seem really happy whenever you talked about it, so I figured it was important. They were fun days. Sometimes I wonder if I could have gone pro if I put more effort into it. But that was just a hopeless dream. I doubt I'll ever make it that far. You never know. You could have made it. Maybe, but I'd probably need some legendary coach to train me. And the motivation to follow through with intense practice. Seems like a lot of work. Big dreams like that do take a lot of work. What was your big dream growing up? Mine? You're gonna think it's silly and stupid. Yeah, but most dreams are silly and stupid. And when else am I gonna hear this? Way to twist the knife. Fine, just promise you won't laugh. Nope, if it's something really ridiculous, I will laugh. I want to be a professional gamer. That's it? What do you mean that's it? I thought you were going to say something really ridiculous like being on the list of the world's sexiest men. I'm not sure if I should take that as a compliment or an insult. That's definitely an insult, but a compliment. You could probably do it if you appeared in like a ton of movies or something. Well, too bad I didn't take that route. So you wanted to be a professional gamer? It's just a far-flung dream. Everyone wants to be a professional gamer, come on. Growing up, it seemed that maybe, just maybe, there might be a chance for me to make a career out of it if I was good enough. I thought that I was good enough, or at least I had the potential. There was something really interesting about them. Strategic team games where you could study and learn what your best options are. Learning the meta was the game in itself. And I wasn't bad. I probably could have made an honest shot at it, but mentally I wasn't prepared for that. Honestly, it's probably a good thing that my hopes were dashed away from that for a while. Hey, don't look so glum. Dreams can shift and change around. We'll get new ones. More accessible ones that make sense. We just have to make use of with the time we've got. Those are some terrible words to use considering where we are. But I'm not wrong, am I? I guess not. I turned my attention back to the screen where Kishi and Zeph were already midway through their run. It looked as though they were running on some trail through a swamp. When did they get into a swamp? Must have been a change of scenery. Kishi's running a bit slower and just swatting around her face. Must be bugs. I feel like she's not a fan of them. Zeph doesn't seem to be bothered that much by them. Is that a crocodile? Holy shit, it almost bit him in half. Gotta admit, that was fast enough to avoid. He was fast enough to avoid getting bitten. But now he's swimming in that swamp water. If he dies here, how am I gonna make him be able to run my half of the race? Oh shit, the croc's swimming right at him. Come on, Zeph, do something. Wasn't sure exactly what he could do, but he needed to think fast. And think fast he did, as he used the baton to keep the crocodile from chomping down on his arm. Why are we not asking Devon about whether Kishi said that she knows the secret to getting through this alive, and why are we not talking about that? Shouldn't we be talking about that? That's... holy shit. What the hell are those batons made out of? Must be something tough if they can stop a crocodile from crushing it with its jaws. Yeah. Guess Belle didn't want the batons to break no matter what she threw at them. Eventually Zeph was able to snatch the baton out of the gator's mouth before swimming back to the shoreline. Kishi had gotten a sizable lead since she didn't have to deal with the crocodile, and Zeph was now running with sodden clothes. Talk about a reversal. Huh? Yeah, now Kishi's got a big lead. Let's see if she can hold it. Both of our eyes were glued to the screen as we watched the race in relative silence. Slowly the scene on the television changed as the swamp-like area they were running through changed into something more arid and dry. They ran through the swamp and now they're on their way through a desert. Kishi looked as though she were in good shape to keep running. Sure, she was sweating up a storm, but she was dressed for it at least. Zeph was panting under the heavy clothes he wore and the heat was killing him. He tore off his sweatshirt once to get more comfortable, but even then he looked to be in bad shape. Damn, he really doesn't look all that good. You're telling me the gap is just getting wider and wider. Nevertheless, they both continued to run. Even if Kishi was far ahead, Zeph didn't stop. Though there was a moment when he was looking off to the side as if there was something there, but it was just an endless sandy expanse. Nothing there worth looking at. He shook his head and focused on what was in front of him and kept running. What was that about? Maybe he saw a mirage or something. That happens in the desert, right? I guess. That or it's one of Belle's tricks. Yeah, that's possible too. Oh, Kishi's coming up to some kind of cave. Zeph doesn't look like he's that far off, maybe a few minutes behind. The shade will probably do him some good. Though I wonder where that cave leads. Maybe down here. I mean, it does look like some kind of underground cave system, right? Not a cave system, but sure, we're underground. We didn't need to theorize much longer as we could hear footsteps behind us, along with heavy panting. That's got to be her. Devon? Kishi appeared through the darkness, barely getting the words out before collapsing onto the ground. She must have pushed herself to the limit just getting this far. Here! She held out the blue baton towards Devon. Devon hesitantly grabbed the baton out of her hand and then looked at me. Guess this means it's my time to go. Yeah. What are you waiting for? Go! Kishi gave Devon a shove to encourage her to run forward. Okay, I'm going. Still, she gave one last parting, sorrowful glance in my direction before running into the hall ahead. Ugh. Kishi tried to collect her breath as she looked at the television screen. Glad that my work is done. I kept my eyes glued to the screen. Zeph wasn't too far away. He was already at the cave entrance. His face and clothes were drenched with sweat. He eagerly entered into the shade and stumbled through the darkness, but I could hear his footsteps echoing behind me, so I stood up ready to chase after Devon as soon as I got the baton. Come on, Zeph, I'm right here. You're almost done. Really? This is the end? About goddamn time. My voice was enough motivation to make him run the last few feet and hand me the golden baton. If you don't fucking win this... He couldn't finish his sentence as he was too busy coughing and wheezing to get air into his lungs, but I understood the threat. If we died, he'd probably make my afterlife a living hell, assuming that we didn't get sent to hell together. I ran down the hallway hoping to catch up to Devon. She didn't get that far ahead of me. There was still a chance to be on pace with her. All I had to do was... oof. Run right into her. What's the rush, dude? Huh? I rubbed the back of my head, confused as to why Devon was still so close to the start. She wasn't that slow and I wasn't that fast. I thought we were racing. If you want to race, you can race, but we're in no rush, right? I guess not. We could take our time, go through this as slow as we wanted to. But that might make the pain of the end that much more severe. Still, I prefer enjoying what few moments we had left together. Do you think that Kishi and Zeph are watching us on the television? Maybe. Depends if Belle is monitoring the both of us. Well, if they're watching, she made a peace sign toward the ceiling. Sorry, we're taking it slow. I looked up at the ceiling. There were no obvious cameras, but with whatever magic Belle had, she could probably just make it invisible. If they were watching, would they be pissed that we made their part of the race insignificant? If so, sorry. Looks like the path splits further up ahead. We walked up to a spot that appeared to have a sign posted at the centre along with two open doors. One with a plate that had a pile of sand and another that had a single grain. Follow the path with the pile of sand. That's it? That seems to be it. Seems pretty obvious to me what the right choice is. Devon pointed to the door that had the pile of sand in the front of it. You overthink things again? Just wondering if that sign is meant to trick us. You think so? Belle said she put obstacles in our path. This could be one of them. But why would she put a misleading sign in front of us? I don't know. I'm just trying to be safe. Well, what do you want to do then? And with that, we're going to wrap this one up here because we're out of time for today. But I guess in the next one, we're going to finish up our race. I still don't know why we haven't talked to Devon about Zeph's plan for bringing people back to life or whatever. That's something we should do while we're having a wander to the end, you know? But I guess we'll see if that happens. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.